Hello, what's up? Today I'd like to talk about how to get started with music production. And the reason why I talk about this topic is because when I got started, I bought a lot of stuff. I spent a lot of energy in doing things which were not really required. So I would just like to talk about those and maybe help you out in your music production journey. So let's get started. Well, first and foremost, if you are getting started with music production and you're looking for which software to purchase, which keyboard to buy, which interface to buy, which headphones or even speakers to buy, I would say take a step back. First of all, you don't need any special software. What you need is maybe a copy of Ableton Live Lite or maybe FL Studio if you're so inclined. I would say that get started with whatever you have. If you don't have anything and you are also looking for a MIDI controller, the easiest and cheapest option is Ableton Live Lite, which usually comes bundled for free with a variety of different MIDI controllers. So go and grab yourself a simple MIDI controller and you will get a copy of the Live Lite software as well. Now myself, I have used Ableton and FL as well as Akai MPC, and I would say the quality of music that you get out of these softwares is similar, not the same but similar, and the output actually depends on the amount of effort that you put into your production compared to the particular environment that you're working in. So stop comparing different production DAWs and just choose one, stick to it, learn the ins and outs of it, and then later on when you think that you are maybe limited by what that particular DAW is offering you, then maybe you perhaps move on to another one. But that stage will come only when you have reached that advanced level and you know what you need to do or what your particular workflow requires you to do. The second tip that I would give is that do not spend money on purchasing Bsds. Now, for a simple beat, a hip hop beat or an EDM track, all you need to learn is a couple of specific plugins, particularly how the EQ works, how the compressor is supposed to work, and how your distortion units are supposed to work. That's all you need to know in the beginning when you're just getting started. And this learning these basics will put you on a path towards easily achieving what you intend to do with whatever plugins you use, whether those are advanced plugins which do a lot of things by themselves or those are plugins which emulate analog hardware. So don't spend on any VSTs. Use whatever your DAW has to offer, and continue using those plugins and those effects till the time you feel that okay, you are either limited by what your DAW is offering you or you have made some money out of your production. Not even money, but I would say if you have a good number of listeners who enjoy listening to your track and you feel that your track could be improved further, you should then invest in VSTs. Apart from this, another topic that I feel I did make a huge mistake when I was getting started with, and even a couple of my friends who have been doing this for a long time, they also got into this problem that when we are starting off, it is very easy to get lost in the production side of things. So you need to pick a path. Are you trying to compose or are you trying to produce a finished track? So if you're trying to compose, do not let yourself be bogged down by all these different options that your DAW is offering you. You can EQ stuff, you can add a compressor, distortion, flangers, phasers, etc. So you can do a lot of things to get your track to that final polished production stage. But when you're just getting started, it is usually the composition that you need to think about, the sound selection that you need to think about. So when getting started, just concentrate on getting your compositions right, concentrate on your sound selection, and then later on figure out how to produce stuff, the gain staging that is required, and even your EQ and compression corrections that might be required in your particular sounds or tracks. These come later down the path. So concentrate on the compositions, learning out your theories, laying down the right chords, using the right set of sounds and layering them together, and ensuring that your layers are cohesive in nature and not just all over the place. And then perhaps move on to the other stuff of producing the complete track. Another topic that I would like to talk about is getting like relying too much on YouTube and instructional videos, or maybe even watching too much of those videos when you're trying to produce yourself. Now, this is something that everybody is guilty of. We usually like to watch what others are doing, what the goats in the particular domain are working on, and how are they accomplishing what they're doing. Now, when we get down into this rabbit hole, usually what happens is that if you have allocated a couple of hours for your music production, you spend most of that time just watching what others are doing and not really practicing yourself. So, what you actually should be working on is practice. Just keep on practicing different stuff, learn new techniques, but do not just be looking at videos and tutorials and the next best thing and ignoring what you know or what you are actually working on right now. Pick a genre and create 10 tracks in that particular genre. Finish those 10 tracks, send it out to your friends. If it is an EDM track, then you don't need vocals, but if it is a hip hop track, then send it out to your friends who like to rap. Ask them whether the track is good enough for laying down some flows on top of it, and based on that you start improving your craft. So practice and stay consistent. If you have allocated certain amount of time, maybe per week, per day, every alternate day, just ensure that you show up on time whether you want to do it or not, and just lay down something. Do not let yourself procrastinate, and that is the only way that you can succeed in your music production journey. Okay, thank you. So those were my tips for anybody looking to get started with music production, and I hope you found those useful. And I'll keep on bringing out more videos related to music production. See you. Bye.